Welcome everybody to another 144 and 360 where we go over the Fibonacci retracements and how to use them with the 144 rules and guidelines. First we'll start by going back over the 10-year note and the soybeans that had hit 78.6 and what we were expecting from both of those. So starting with the 10-year note here, we left you with this market just hitting 78.6. It had hit 23.6 back to the all-time high, failed to make the new low that came in at 78.6. And then, so what the normal thing is on a 78.6% retracement is we've got that here. We hit down in here. So we would look for 78.6 back the other way. And this is where we left you, right up here at 78.6, thinking this could take us back to 78.6 the other way. Now, here's where we tell you got to watch all the retracement, and here's why. So as we push this out a little bit, we then start to see, okay, it hits 78.6%, but watching all the retracements back down, all it could do was go to 38% right here. Okay, trade a little under it, but couldn't close under it. What did it do again? Made the new high, couldn't even get to 38.2%, then made another new high, and right to 38.2%. Now this pushed us up through that long-term 23.6% level, and here's where, again, watching all of the levels on this chart here, if we then go back, just because it went up above that level, never closed above it, so coming back down under it, it should still have the same effect as hitting it the last time, which is send this thing a lot lower. But the other part of it is that when we look at this high and this low, the first most important high going that we could retrace back up to is right here. And it went up to 61.8 on that push on the spike up above it. So just giving you another idea of what's possible on the downside. Now, if we just follow 61.8 rule, we're going to be looking for 61.8 down the other way. Now, here's another note to know that before this high here took out this high, all we could retrace these back to was this low. Not the extreme low, because there was a higher high in front of us. So now that we've took out that high, we're now looking at 38% back to the extreme low, and that is at 1331. If that's all it can do, this market's got a lot more upside. Again, we're looking for 61.8 because this was 61.8. And any violation that just takes out this area up here, you've got a nice combination of 38 back to the all-time high, 61 back to another important high back up there, and a major Gann square. So that's what we're looking for in the notes. Now we're going to go off into the, let's see, where is it? We're going to go to the cattle. We'll get to the beans in a second, as we said we would get to. Here's the thing that with the June cattle and how important just following the trend is and what to be looking for. So we take this low back in September that stands out as the most important low to start from right now. So we can see here the most direct move, 38 back. Nice, held that very nicely. Went on to the new highs as you would expect. Still a strong market. Then we make this new high, come back right into 38.2% again. And this is just how we know we have a good market. I mean, if they start violating these levels, and you'll see in a second, that then something's changing. Now the market's getting even stronger because all it can do is set back 23% back to this level. One solid close below it, but right back above it. As we always say, we want to see that second one to confirm the violation of a key area. Now this market just gets so strong that we have to take the most direct move to even try and find a retracement, and that's this low, this high, and you can see that we held 23% in here. just showing you that how strong this market is. And there we go to the new highs up here. Now we take the extreme retracement again, 23% back to the low. This thing should be going for new highs. And this again is why we watch all the retracements. What it should be doing and what it does end up doing will you have to, that's why we watch all the retracements, and you will get keys as to why this is going to fail when you take a look at right here that this move back up, which we thought should have gone to new highs, stops at 78.6%. Now just following that rule alone, we know that either we go 78.6 of just this little move here, or it's the move that ends the rally for the time being. That you'll see is what happened in the soybeans in a minute, but we know now that, here, failed to make the new low. That in itself is a sign that we should be looking for at least 38 back after holding 23. But in this case, it ended up being what was the extreme, took out the key level at 23%. So that's this thing that turned the whole market around. But the clue was up in here at 78.6%. And you'll see this so many times at tops and bottoms. So it's a kind of thing that when it works, it's fantastic. If not, your risk is limited on doing a trade from that level. So now we see that this market comes down, fails to stop at 38. You get a little dip or a little pop up, and then it's just a failure down to it. Now here's where it ends up going 61.8 of this whole move here, but where the longer term levels come in and are so important to know, we go back on a continuation chart and we can see that this was 23% back to a long-term level, and this is where you can always expect bigger moves from. And in this case, you can see here we've had a very big pop off of this level, not only the Gann square, but a good target on here. Ideally, we would be looking at 61.8 just because of 61.8. Well, we hit that here today, so keep an eye on that. But because this is 23%, and it should be more important, but again, we'll find out. Ideally, we'd still be looking for a good run at the highs at a minimum and even new highs. But because we have this 78.6 up here, just very close to a major Gann square, this is our target area, and that's what our premium members have been told, and what to look for as the longer term and what could have turned this thing back down. So it all comes down to what is the potential for the move and what happens when it fails to do that. Now we'll just take a quick look here at what happened in the wheat and beans and corn, and we've got a 78.6% retracement down here that wheat is rallying from, and a major Gann square that it's holding down here. Our first target on this is just 38 back of this small move here. We're getting real close to it. As far as for the longer term ideas as to what to expect from these levels, one, you can just view some of our videos and what to expect from all the different retracements. It's at the top of our webpage. And two, and better for us, is that you become a premium member for our Grain Weekly letter, and you get all of these levels, whether they hold or not, what to look for above and below every one of these levels. So now here, going back to that, what I mentioned last time, we were right up in here when we said the beans had just hit 78.6, and the target initially was 78.6 the other way, which was 1492. As you can see, that level was taken out, and it did indeed end that move again, just as it did in the cattle and many other markets. It's just a level you have to pay attention to all the time. Now, as far as the July beans, didn't quite get to that 78, but at the same time on the break here, we just hit 61.8 and also a 1390 Gann square. Again here, what to look for if this level holds. we're just looking, following the Gann squares up to the next one to start. We have longer term targets up on top. Again, premium members will get that. And then we get into the July corn, where we hit 78.6 of the July to October move of last year. And again, you can see here, once it got above the 608.5 major Gann square, it came back to sit on it, and here we are now. We were looking for, and we still are, initially just the 639 quarter major Gann square, which just happens to be 38 back up. We are expecting more than that, but this is our short-term target. That was when we hit this level down here at 602. Again, you can get all of these levels ahead of time just by being a premium member. And also, one other thing you might want to look at is we did a post on Bitcoin, and it just came into some major retracements along with a Gann square. Posted that last week, up around the 28,000 to 2880, two key levels up there. We'll see what happens, but you put the retracements on there, you'll see some interesting things as well. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe to us here on YouTube. Give us a thumbs up. And even better would be if you become a premium member if you trade the grains. For now, thank you for watching.